Look, there's ultimately only one conflict, the conflict between Shaitan and Bani Adam. That's the only real conflict that there is. And the people who are standing up for Bani Adam, for humanity, that's the Muslims. Standing up for the nobility of Bani Adam, the children of Adam, the human race. Standing up for the virtue and the honor and the dignity of humanity, that's the Muslims. We're the only ones doing that. And anything, therefore, that degrades humanity, that debases humanity, that dishonors and corrupts humanity, this is all and always an attack on Islam and Muslims. We're the ultimate target of that, even if they don't officially make it about us, even if it's not explicitly called Islamophobic, because we're here to uplift and to dignify and to purify and to sanctify human beings. We are here to prove our worthiness. But Shaitan is here to prove our unworthiness. So everything that gets promoted, that degrades people, is anti-Islamic. Being so-called Islamophobic actually means being against morality, being against piety, against virtue, against being upright and honest and chaste and decent. Because that's what we stand for. That's what Islam stands for. That's what we're here to be. Listen, in this dunya, in the story of humanity, there are basically sort of just five collective characters. There's only five characters in the story of humanity, collectively. There's the Ahlul Kitab, that's the Jews and the Christians. Then there's the Shayateen. And then there's, everybody else, the Mushrikeen, the atheists, and so on. These are basically just dazed zombies of the Shayateen. And then there's the Muslims. These are the characters. These are the characters in this story. The lead antagonist is Iblis, is Shaitan, and the protagonist is the Muslims. We are the collective protagonist of the story of humanity. Now, I'm not saying that the Jews and the Christians are antagonists. No, I'm not saying that. They are characters in the story. Shaitan is the antagonist. We are the protagonist. And all the other characters in the story become instruments through which the struggle and the tension and the conflict between Shaitan and us plays out. You understand? This gives you a simple framework for interpreting our life in this world that you can anchor yourself in. Those are the characters. And when you know that those are the characters, then it's easy to understand their dialogue and understand their actions. And they will very rarely ever act out of character. This is what I've meant when I talk about knowing what team you're on. Which collective character are you a part of? Because you're either part of the protagonist character, or you're part of the antagonist character, or you're just an extra. An extra that will just end up being a pawn in the story, just an instrument that will be used by the antagonist against the protagonist, used by Shaitan against the Muslims.